And as the French would call it, nous sommes live.
Uh,
Um, Hello, what's up?
Musambaku, life. How are you, man? How's
Uh,
life?
Existing.
Existing. Dude, the weather is so fucked up here. Oh my god, I hate this so much.
Yeah, we live
Starting the,
quite close to each other.
starting the episode by complaining and ranting about stuff, like always. The weather's super fucked up. I hate myself. I hate the weather. I hate this fever. I Teddy hates it too. Teddy actually got in an accident recently. Teddy fell off the table and it's been real tough for
One
the work.
therapy, one emotional thought spiral later.
This fucker. I'm gonna get this fucker someday. In times like these, I really wish God existed and fucking freed me away from every bullshit that I'm going through.
Hold up, a second. This guy claims that God does not exist. BJP assassins.
Dude. Guys. Clearly, clearly, don't come after me. I have these posters. What do you have? I can't see fucking posters of God.
I have
I
eye
can't see
drop.
any.
I have the holy eye drop.
Eye drop is crazy. I can't see any material manifestations of this so-called God that permeates through our Indian idol culture. Look at me. I am devotedly blind and an asshole to everybody.
What are you talking about? This is literally not my wallpaper, but still.
That's on the phone though, dude. You need to surround your place with God. Like I have those gods over there and those anime posters. Like you need that shit.
Anyways,
Do you
where
believe in a
were,
God?
I mean, I have seen too much shit around me to not give an answer to that question.
Yeah, classic. That's the PR answer, dude. Come on, grow some
Um,
balls. Come on, where's the actual answer?
the actual answer is I'm agnostic.
Agnostic brothers over here.
Yeah. I
What
mean,
agnosticism is.
I think people are educated enough to understand that. So agnosticism is essentially for the two of us at least, we claim that we don't understand why a god would exist, but then again we cannot 100% prove the non-existence of god. So in our mind, since we have not found any logical basis of verification that god exists, in our mind god probably doesn't exist, but we are not saying it up to absolute certainty because we cannot prove the non-existence of god up to logical certainty either.
Yeah, we cannot basically know whether God exists or not.
Yeah.
However, I would say God is pretty real
Yeah, of course god
because
is real. Of course god is real
God is.
because fucking communism is real. You know?
Uh,
I
the
mean,
thing is, if an idea takes effect and shape and starts shaping the world around us, we have to classify that as real because it's permeating our reality. है ना?
that's why
God,
that's what I said. Communism is real.
है ना? God in essence or in physicality might not be present or it might not have a shape, but the influences God has had over us as a civilization is just undeniable. है ना? I
Of
mean, like
course.
artistic, like in art, so many paintings, so many architectures have been influenced by God Himself.
So taking from a purely a posteriori point of view, like the empiricists would, God does exist.
Mhm.
It is actually very interesting how people think that rationalists are theists and empiricists are atheists. This I don't know why this dichotomy exists in people, but
है ना?
the biggest logic towards the existence of God is a posteriori effects, right?
Mhm.
So I think we both have watched that debate that took place recently between Javed Akhtar and what was it,
Yeah,
Mufti something something. Um,
Mr. Mufti.
so, huh?
Mr. Mufti, yeah. I don't really know what the hell Javed Akhtar was doing.
Yes, I mean, see. Javed
Uh-huh.
Akhtar, look at him versus Sadhguru, look at him versus Makran. You'll see very good debates. The other day, I just saw him turn into fucking Joe Biden. Okay, I
है
mean,
ना?
yeah, बहुत कुछ. He went from ontology to
Mhm.
epistemology for no apparent
Mhm.
reason. है ना? Some
Yeah.
arguments, some arguments, ideally he did provide good, but Javed Akhtar for some reason decided to focus more on religion than God. And Mufti was very
Yeah.
clear: I'm not going to draw from religious doctrines. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. है ना? Uh, Mr.
Mhm.
Mufti was very articulate in his debate, and
Definitely. Yes.
albeit not aligned with my personal beliefs, but as a neutral judge, I would perhaps say Mufti was better in the debate yesterday, the last day.
Absolutely.
I mean,
I mean,
I feel like the first mistake Javed Akhtar did uh,
mhm. Was
was
accepting.
accepting the parameters set by Mufti, है ना?
Yes, exactly, है ना?
So why do we not look at God from a positivist point of view? Why do we not look at God from a scientific point of view? And the very infinite regress being framed as a fallacious argument is not real, right? So
Mhm.
the argument of contingency Mufti tried to frame very cleverly was essentially, okay, this exists. Why does this exist? Because plants exist. Why do plants exist?
Mhm.
Because life exists. Up to infinite regress, we have to stop somewhere. Why do we have to stop somewhere? Why is it
Exactly.
necessarily linear? Why there exists a linear regress of thoughts? And why can't we just say it is infinity? Mufti argues that infinity is not practical. Mathematics, I'm a math student, we deal with infinities like cornflakes, है ना? Um, so
I mean, it is really difficult to understand the nature of the universe without studying fractals and infinity in general, है ना?
we were at Javed Akhtar, right? So why is
Javed Akhtar.
why yeah why is infinite regress necessarily fallacious?
Mhm.
Why do we assume that there is a linear regress of thoughts? And if it's infinite, this regress of thoughts is a metaphysical concept. It is not in physics per se. है ना?
Yeah.
I don't know why infinity is not conceivable in practicality. Even if I accept it is, why is it not acceptable in metaphysics? That's the point of metaphysics. It's beyond physics.
Mhm.
So yeah, that. I mean, if these things were set right by Javed Akhtar's case would have been really good. Javed Akhtar also
Mhm.
really the contingency argument Javed Akhtar never really answers. Again, this contingency argument is a consequence of people thinking infinite regress to be fallacious. Contingency
Mhm.
argument, the way I see it, is essentially a fallacy. Why? Because we don't know how the universe exists, we don't know how it came into play. Therefore, someone must have created it. Let's assert a creator. How is that logically viable? Why
It
is
reminds me. It reminds me of Aristotle's perception of God. That for everything to exist, there must have been a cause, right? This pen exists. Something caused it to exist. Something caused the ink to be made. Something caused the plastic to be made. And something caused the oils inside this ink to exist. So every this cause and effect thing, it traces back to the beginning of the universe. And this is what Aristotle says, that the one cause that caused the universe to exist must be God. And Avicenna kind of really modifies this to the contingency necessary argument, that for every contingent thing that exists, there must be a necessity that inherently doesn't exist, materially per se. So yeah, God to me has always been this really interesting topic, because the influence God has in shaping human psychology and mob psychology in general has been, phenomenal. I mean, to just think that I mean, to think that there must lie this entity, and I shall devote my entire, frame of faith towards this entity that I don't know exists or not. And, in some ways, religion has helped people to, unify, but at the same time, the more religions or more depictions or interpretations of God there are, people have started drifting apart,
Okay,
which is really, really, really.
so unrelated. Uh,
Mhm.
I don't know why, but I was watching the latest episode of the Great Indian Couple Show on Netflix. Okay, I have no idea why. Okay, no, I have an idea why, because I saw a reel that sounded interesting. He talked about religions, by the way. He tried to set. He did a faint attempt at satire. Okay, I love how bros just emoting. Anyway, so in the
You're
opening,
not defending Kapil Sharma, are you?
I'm not def- I'm not defending Kapil Sharma. One second. Giving you some more homework to do in there.
Uh,
Yeah. So
what
where
were you talking about?
what were we talking about?
You were gonna say something unrelated and defend Kapil Sharma or something, the
Yeah,
great
yeah, yeah.
Indian bullshit.
So I just screamed at the top of my lung capacity, so I barfed about what I was talking about. Anyway, Kapil Sharma, latest episode. Okay.
Mm.
Uh, so
I,
he
what did he
opened with
talk about?
he. Okay, let me
Mm.
share you the entire opening skit. Okay. So
Mm.
he Kapil is doing theatrical comedy in his show now, and he is actually better than he was. Okay, not good, but
Okay.
better than he was. Okay, so in the opening, two dudes come in. It's dark. Two dudes come in dressed as doctors. Okay, they're like, okay, this is a psychiatric hospital. We are the doctors. Since this is Kapil Sharma show, they made fun of the doctor's looks and stuff. But that's let's just put that to a side. They're like, okay, we have this patient who slips into different personalities, and we have to catch him each time. And currently, he's taking the personality of a king. Okay, so and we have to catch that king. So we are pretending to be his fucking
Ministers and shit.
army minister कुछ भी है ना हाँ
Yeah.
सैनिक or whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
shot of Kapil Sharma coming down from the sky as the king. Ta 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 ta. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, so the doctors ask him, uh, "What country are you the king of?" Kapil is like, "I'm gonna form a new country."
It's
They're like, "Okay, how big?" 160. No, let's just include the footpath. 185 square feet, square yards. They were like, that is like the average size of a film city or something. Okay, like छोटा सा जगह. They were like, okay, why so small? They're like, uh, so that whenever the enemy comes, I can just see them from my bathroom. Okay.
okay.
Okay, so then they were like, okay, what do you want the? I'm gonna just cover the important bits, not the clithy Kapil Sharma humor. Okay, so
Uh,
how many people do you want in your country? Kapil is like, okay, I want 100 people only. There will be very less people in this country, and there should be multiple religions. There should be 4 or 5 religions in my country.
it's
The doctors were like, why? They're like, if the entire country is of one religion, they'll beat me up. If there are different religions, they'll just beat each other. I'll be happy.
okay.
See, Kapil Sharma is redeeming himself.
See, and this is what brings me to my point that I wanted to mention. Is that I think religion was never about the celebration of God or the materialization or the hermeneutics behind it. Religion was always tied, even in history, you can like confirm it, even tied to political gain.
Yep.
Hannah, when they were preaching Christianity back in like however 1400, 1300, or even older, I don't fucking remember. It was for Alexander the Great to fucking bring people together, join his army, and create this sense of devotion and and manipulate that sense of devotion to subserviism towards a grander entity or a
I mean,
grander person that might
so did
represent God.
so did certain rulers they did not really introduce the concept of Sanatanism, but they
Mhm.
reinterpreted Sanatanism to Hinduism to for the same
Yeah.
purpose, right? So
Even Hinduism in itself wasn't really a thing in India. It was just
yeah,
a,
I mean,
brought by.
it was several micro religions,
Mhm.
right? It was several
The
micro
British
one.
just homogenized it.
Yeah, hear me out. So in the Sundarbans, there is a tribe that used to
Mm.
worship an entity called Bono Baby uh,
Okay.
for celebration, right? For thanking their way of thanking the forest, essentially. Okay,
Mhm.
so Bono Baby is currently in the scriptures a roop of Durga. Okay, so
I mean, that's
yeah,
what happens, when you're homogenizing such micro religions
yeah.
into one, you need to make things, accessible, more understandable. And that's what, you know, they do really. This is precisely why I never really consider, when people say, "Oh, the source of my argument is the Holy Quran or the Bible or the fucking Gita," I'm like, "Go fuck yourself."
Yeah, like several of those verses were written with a purpose in mind at a particular time. For example, when the Quran was being written, there was active war among different sects of Islam with the Jews, some with the Christians, and all. So of course they were like, if anyone attaches your religion with violence, go kill them. Of course they were like that.
Yeah.
It makes sense. But today, compared to those times, we are in relative peace. Let's say, okay. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm so glad with our generation that, religion has been seeing a bit of a decline.
yeah, exactly. I mean, no. Religion hasn't been seeing a bit of a decline. The thing is, there were always crackpots like us. But if you look at the majority of the world, I think there was a study done by Cambridge or Oxford, some university, I don't remember. Uh,
Mhm.
Around like what was the figure? Okay, the conclusion of the study was the role of religion is increasing in our daily lives because uh, religion, if not anything, provides people with three very important things. One, a figure to
Mhm.
seek forgiveness from. Two, an authority that people,
Mhm.
because people are conditioned to authoritarian systems, right? Parenthood, patriarchy, every system basically has been authoritarian that has worked, right? So a way to seek forgiveness and atone from. Two, an authority. Three, a moral code, a distinction that certain things are good and certain things are bad.
So
So
it's a
if you
whole
see,
huge coping mechanism, right?
it is a
I
coping
attach
mechanism.
it to
Hear me out. Hear me
entity.
out. Hear me out.
Mhm.
These three things are self-serving. This is like tautology. Like if you have something that clearly distinguishes something as good or bad, when you do something good, this authority is pleased. When you do something bad, you can seek forgiveness from this authority. So these
Mhm.
three things kind of serve each other. And
Absolutely.
this positive feedback loop is essentially what embryons people into religion.
I mean, yeah, especially towards the earlier times when, we were going through wars and stuff, people needed these things.
Yeah.
This is why religion in general surged so highly in times of war. But even today, it is equally as fucked up as it was. But I see my generation not that particularly indulge themselves in rituals or practices because that's what religion does that really pisses me off. It kind of it basically says that if you want to please God, you have to do these n number of things, these s number of practices. You have to take a fast these days. You cannot eat this, cannot eat that. You can't trim your nails on a fucking Saturday, shit like that.
Yeah,
And which ties what
I feel
you
like
said.
these arbitrary practices are being eliminated because people are generally getting more rational. But
Mhm.
religion as a whole will probably evolve, not get eradicated that easily.
Okay, fair enough.
Like
What do you think structurally the religion is evolving towards?
the religion is not evolving towards anything. It's just slowly but surely correcting the arbitrary uh, clauses in there, which made sense at a particular point of time. This is not a new phenomenon. Talk about sati does not
Mm.
exist anymore. Talk about the caste divide exists, but to a far lesser degree, right? But it's still in the scriptures, isn't it? So I
Yeah,
feel like people are moving from letter to spirit in a theist sense of view. Although again, but like people are slowly trying to uh, go toward the core idea of religion, these three figures that I provided, and move away from this redundancies essentially. Like don't trim your nails on a Saturday, don't consume
hmm,
non-veg, you know, all of that weird stuff.
fair enough. You know, the way I people see deal with God is, all those redundancies aside, I have seen people place their faith and God seemingly acts as their imaginary daddy
Vessel,
figure that looks
vessel of
after,
faith. I
that kind of
I
looks.
I talked to you about this while discussing a friend. I'll not name the friend for obvious reasons, but people often visualize God as this prophetic version, this projection of their own self. है ना?
Yeah,
So,
this ideal self that Carl Rogers puts it. That is where you want to see yourself. You're God essentially. Hannah, that a idealized place that you want to be towards and work towards becoming. However, I mean, with human creativity, depictions of God have been have seen so many interesting takes. Take like Lovecraft, for example. Would you not say a Cthulhu might is no different than a god for us once we encounter?
probably, probably.
Yeah.
Interesting.
To an ant, probably we might be God. And I think the physicality of God is deeply tied in our, unpredictability. We can't really the same way we can't really visualize a new color. We can't really even begin to visualize how God might look or be.
No, but
So
that
this is,
is, but isn't that very Abrahamic of you? Because Hindus can, behind you, right there, little guy.
I mean, that's their depiction of God, Hannah.
Yeah.
There are far other depictions of God, like the Abrahamic religions have it. Or if you wanna go like multi-theistic, you have their Greek gods. But I personally don't really find it to be any, what do I say, apathetic.
Makes
Uh,
sense.
to me, to even attempt to give God a shape is a disservice to the grandiosity that God as a concept covers.
Makes sense.
Hannah, so I don't think God should be given a past, some literature to work on with, or a shape.
That is also very Abrahamic of you because, like the Islamists argue that God is beyond time, an entity that exists in a timeless sense.
Mhm.
God is not having a shape. That is also very Abrahamic of you.
But then again, Islam commits the sin of fucking creating a literature for itself, Hannah, the Quran.
I mean,
That
again,
is very
that
politically
was
charged
that
of them.
every religious scripture had a point behind it. The point was social mobilization. Okay, I mean, at the end of the day, no matter how much theist you are, you're gonna have to accept history, fam.
Why do we need why do we need like a religion to work off with? Because if you
Okay,
have
I have an answer to this because
the,
uh,
the thing is, my perspective is, you have enough capability, you have enough brain power to visualize your own God and work towards them. But people take the easy way route of this God that has been, passed down to them by maybe their family members or
yeah,
any media. I kind of find that to be Disappointing.
In the I had referenced a book in the first episode of this podcast called The Unbearable Lightness of Being by Kundera, where I talked about
Hmm.
Kish and linguistics, right? So the book opens with Paramenides. Like the first page
Acha.
is about Paramenides, okay? So
Hmm.
I'm not taking it out because it'll be a mess again. I'll find the page, something will happen. But he essentially begins with Parmenides was one of those pre-Socratic philosophers. The crucial thing he did was one of the first
Zeno's,
things. Huh?
Zeno's paradox, if I remember.
No, no, no. অত যাচ্ছি না. One of the crucial things Parmenides did, one of the most productive exercises in philosophy according to the pre-Socratic eras was classification of something as things as good or bad. Okay, so
Hmm.
hunger is bad, greed is bad, fulfillment is good, knowledge is
Hmm.
good, power is good, ऐसे करके. Uh, and this is what I think is true. Like humans psychologically always crave dichotomy, always claim, no, if not dichotomy, a finite number of options, right?
Yeah,
And
categorization.
sorry,
Categorization. We like to
okay,
put
yeah,
things in boxes.
categorization,
Yeah.
yeah. Particularly in case of morality, they claim dichotomy. Like I want to know if what I did is right or not. I mean, that
Good
is
or
how
bad, right? Mm.
right or wrong, bad or good, है ना? No matter however you frame it. So the
Mhm.
I feel like religion was man's first attempt to understand morality and the workings of the universe.
Mm.
So
Yeah, definitely. When you don't have, back in the day, you couldn't really have, detailed explanations through empiricism or science that developed way later on. So, people kind of just had their
made shit
idea
up,
of
made shit up,
up, essentially, huh?
made shit up.
And I mean, if that fulfilled their curiosity for a while, and if that fulfilled their desire to have things answered, then to them, they were like, oh, this is perfect. I have the
Yeah,
answer. I don't care
because Kishla, what is true is what entertains us. You know,
about
facts come first. We construct logic around facts, right?
it.
So they saw that the universe exists, or rather, universe of the planet, छोड़ दो, that the Earth exists. Therefore,
Mm-hmm.
someone must have created it.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, there is a there and imagine, dude, someone created all of us. They must be more powerful than all of us. God.
Yeah,
है ना?
clearly.
So, yeah.
But I like, a bit tasteful interpretations of God, like the thing Lovecraft did, and the thing that author did in I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. The
Ah,
artificial
yes, yes.
intelligence I am essentially becomes this godlike figure at the end of the story, Hannah. And that kind of leads me into the evil god theory. Do you know about this?
Yes. Elaborate.
Evil god theory, because
Elaborate. For the viewers. For the viewers. What is evil God theory?
one of the leading theories behind why suffering exists, it can be tied down to this existence of this god that is omnipotent, omniscient, but not benevolent, rather evil actually. Think of this kind of god as
Malevolent.
malevolent, huh? Think of this god as kind of an author, like fucking Dostoevsky, or Hajime Isayama, for a better uh, analogy. He puts these characters in his world and he makes them go through the most evil shit imaginable. Because to him, suffering builds character, and that's what fucking Augustine also came up with. So it's
No,
kind of a
Augustine's theodicy was something different. Augustine was like, okay, God gave you free will and you exploit that free will, है ना? Wasn't that Augustine's theodicy, if I'm not wrong?
but Augustine basically tied all the evils in the universe to the human beings themselves.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I feel like this. I feel like if you look at God through any religious lens, because of all the reasons I mentioned earlier, God is three things. रुक जा. Uh, so, God is omnipotent, omniscient, and omnibenevolent. है ना? I just realized that my camera mirrors things and this was very unproductive. Anyways, but still, so, so the thing is, the evil dictates that any two of these qualities will cancel each other out because evil exists in this universe clearly. Okay,
Yeah.
if people go like original sin, if you go to that defense, then why are innocent children raped? Why are innocent children killed? Why are people just born into this world? Because all
Why
children are
does
born
cancer
without sin.
exist? I don't know.
Why does cancer exist? है ना? If you go to the sin and punishment, that really falters. But so evil clearly exists, right? If it
Yeah.
doesn't, someone let's debate. I don't mind. Uh, uh, anyways, so if God is omnipotent and omniscient and evil exists, clearly he is not omnibenevolent. If God is omniscient, if God is omnibenevolent and evil exists, clearly he is not omnipotent. If God is omnipotent and omnibenevolent, clearly he is not omniscient because evil
Omniscient.
exists.
Yeah.
And for all those fuckers giving the free will defense, let me tell you, God is omnipotent and omnibenevolent, right? So he would construct free will in a way that humans would voluntarily choose good over evil. Simple, right? So, yeah,
Either one of these falters.
yeah.
But do you not think this definition of God in a way is fallacious?
I mean, how else do you
Why must
define God?
God be? Why must God be omnipotent, omniscient, and omnibenevolent? What if God just, created the universe and just fucking vanished away?
If God created the universe and vanished away,
Hmm.
then it does not exist. It used to exist. I win.
Hmm. But the thing is, I don't really get people's interpretation of God as a lingering figure, Hannah. Why do you think that God still is? Why don't you think that God once was and now he is not today?
Again, because it suits them. I told you about the three things: authority, forgiveness, and moral code. That is the
Yeah.
justification. That's the a posteriori justification I have about why people think God is and not once was. But a priori, I don't know.
Fair enough. Fair enough. What do
Some
you
people,
think, Jai? Huh?
one unbeatable argument against the one unbeatable argument for the existence of God.
Hmm.
God is all wise. You fuckers cannot debate him. You guys are not all wise. Bye bye. So yeah,
Fair enough.
If God is all wise, why do some Greek gods rape other gods? Anyways,
Uh-huh. What even is wisdom? Fucking hell. What do you think drives people towards atheism?
uh, um, drugs.
That probably would drive them towards theism, bro.
This guy, bakkanal laki, huh? Anyways,
Like imagine.
no. What drives people towards atheism? First of all, suffering.
Hmm.
Secondly, all these logical inconsistencies that we have been discussing for 25 minutes.
Hmm.
Thirdly, absurdities in every single religion. One religion says don't eat beef, eat pork. The other says don't eat pork, eat beef.
Hmm.
Right. So there was this talk I was watching about watching by Varun Grover, brilliant man by the way. You should totally check him out. He was like, he was very poetic about it, but I don't remember the exact lines because I watched it like 2 months ago. है ना? So I'm gonna talk in Hindi because he was in Hindi. अगर अगर तुम्हारे दाता ने, तुम्हारे भगवान ने पूरी कायनात बनाई है, कायनात का हर पत्ता बनाया है, तो तो जो दूसरे भगवानों में मानते हैं उन्हें भी तो तुम्हारे खुदा ने बनाया है. है ना? अगर तुम्हारे खुदा ने ही उन्हें भी बनाया है और बनाया है तुम्हें भी, तो तुम उनसे झगड़ क्यों रहे हो?
है
अगर
ना?
तुम कहते हो कि खुदा ऑल वाइज है, तो उन्हें भी बनाने का कोई कारण होगा, कोई कार्य होगा,
Mm-hmm.
है ना? Anyway, unrelated, I just saw this and I wanted to show this on my podcast. On 18th December 2025, a bunch of us went out. We got kicked out from Victoria Memorial, but that's the story for off the records, okay? Um, and one of my friends was kind enough to make us this. I love this.
Oh, this is cute.
Yeah, it reads we, like with 12 E's, are the best. Nietzsche 1812 2025.
That's
I just
cute.
love this. है ना?
Mhm.
And fucking, some people do not know how to set photo frames in the middle of Modan, so now I have two of these lying around. They were like, जब कॉलेज खुलेगा तब दे देना.
Ah, fair enough, fair enough.
That was a lie. I have three of these lying around for the exact same reason, but yeah.
Three of these. How come they not carry a goddamn photo frame?
No, they don't know how to set up a photo frame.
Bro, what?
How to
This
insert a
is one of the
how to insert a photo frame and then close the photo frame and then be safe and carry it with you.
fucking bro. Google that shit. Like, what the hell?
You don't need to. I was doing it in front of you. Just copy me. Monkey see, monkey do. Anyways.
And this is so crazy because, like, with a guy like me, I need, maximalism in my environment. I need those photo frames. I need these posters. I need everything to stimulate me. And you're talking like, oh, I don't know how to set up a photo frame is novel, new information,
It's all
definitely.
right. Some people just don't know how to do things. They are in
Speaking of
this. They are in this photo frame, and I'll have to meet them very soon. So I'll have to be diplomatic.
speaking of not being able to do things, I was reading, Carl Jung again
Why?
and Man and His Symbols. Well, I need to write an essay on him for my college application, but and I wasn't able to finish that book. I maybe read like a third to a half, and the whole theory about archetypes, I think, is one of the most significant developments in psychology ever.
Agreed. Agreed.
Because,
I know what you're talking about.
because that's the thing, Freud didn't really approach psychoanalytics with empiricism in mind. He was really subjective, and subjectivity is the thing, of the belief that, oh, a person is their own book of psychology, and you can't really generalize those things. And then he proceeded to generalize those things later. What I love about Jung is he read through history, he read through literature, and he noticed patterns. The fuck are you doing?
Oh, I'm taking out material to show you. Don't worry.
Okay. And he saw these patterns and he just conceptualized this whole idea of the individual. And that's what I really like about people like Freud, Lacan, and Jung, is that it needs so much creativity to think of even theories like these.
Okay,
Credit to
so
Einstein, even that shit was really creative.
let me tell you something. The current I'm reading two books currently. One is fiction, okay, but
Mm-hmm.
the non-fiction I'm reading currently is this Politics by Aristotle,
Mm-hmm.
and the next one I plan on reading is this Discipline and Punish by Foucault.
Foucault, yeah.
I'll not elaborate.
Fair enough. I mean,
You know why?
I know why, but Foucault to me has been such a lingering figure in almost everything I read. Hannah. Like everything I read, I can like fucking see, oh, Foucault probably worked on this as well at some point.
I mean, these people like Foucault and Wittgenstein, I've seen them so many places Tertiarily, I want to approach them primarily now.
Hella, like fucking Wittgenstein in particular, you conceptualized the whole concept of linguistics before linguistics was even a thing.
He talked about linguistics, he talked about subjectivism, he talked about anti-rationalism, he talked about so many things. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
The best thing about, if I correct me if I'm wrong, but in one of his books, he clearly states that this book is not for people. This book is for people who have never picked up a philosophy book in their life. And he proceeds to talk about language and like how everything is language in itself. The visuals, the sense data, it's all language. It's all means of communication. And I mean, once I first discovered Wittgenstein, I was like, oh my fucking god, I'm not reading this guy. What the fuck is he talking about? And now that I see him in his grand influence in works of people like Foucault and Deleuze, and I'm like, fucking hell, this guy was a genius.
Yeah. You should read some rationalist philosophy, like not just Descartes, like Spinoza. Like,
Hmm.
you should read some of those stuff. I recently did some Spinoza myself, and I was blown away.
What did you read?
Well, I'll send you the PDFs.
Okay, fair.
We work.
I reread this book recently, Notes from Underground. I mean, there hasn't been a single day in my life where I open this book and it just fucking flashes me.
I mean, the thing about Dostoevsky's books, other than Crime and Punishment, like if you go White Knights, if you go Notes from the Underground,
Hmm.
they are not big, but they are so profound. You know?
Yeah.
I mean,
I
if
mean,
you
especially
if you
things
read,
like Notes from Underground and White Knights, it explores human psychology in such a raw and fucking eerie way that you can't help but go, oh, I see a bit of myself in this person.
if you read
I
fucking
think
Tolstoy's Anna Karenina, this is good. This is very good,
I on
but
my
this is
read list.
big.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was an entire
That
phase of memes about how big these books are. I mean, I hated that phase, but that is kind of true. The way Dostoevsky does things, the way Kafka does things, the way Dickens does things. No way a Tale of Two Cities is this.
mm-hmm.
You know? So the way these people do these things are like, I mean, even the original editions, if you compare, they're way thicker than this, but they're nowhere
Very
compared to like Crimes of Punishment and all that, right?
definitely.
Right.
I mean,
So,
that again. I mentioned in this a previous episode how this is precisely why I don't really trust translations.
uh huh.
And a thing I want to mention, this is precisely why Nietzsche said that the only psychologist that I need to learn from is Dostoevsky.
Uh huh.
Yeah, and I mean, it clearly shows if you read any of his work. I've been meaning to read the brothers Karamazov,
You
but
have not read the Brothers Karamazov?
not read the brothers
I'm doing
Karamazov.
a podcast with you. Who are
Dude,
you?
it is so daunting. I picked that book up and it's so fucking daunting, dude.
Yeah, fair,
It's
fair,
kind of like the
fair, fair.
Godfather situation. It's kind of like the Godfather. I haven't watched the Godfather, and I'm a film buff. TK. I look at that movie and I look at that book and I'm like, oh, I'm not fucking ready for this.
Fair,
This is
fair.
too daunting. Hannah.
Fair, fair, fair. That is fair.
This weird imposter syndrome type of thing where, oh, I don't think I'm ready for this book. Let me educate myself a bit more, which I don't really know
Yeah,
how.
that was me before I picked up politics. So,
Uh-huh. What are your top five books to recommend people?
uh,
Can be anything, fiction, non-fiction.
no, I'll not do can be anything. I'll restrict myself to fiction.
Okay.
Or else 5 books will never come. Okay. Fiction also, I'll be like putting boulders on my heart, recommending books, leaving out books. But
Mm-hmm.
foremost is White Knights. I know you love Notes from the Underground, but I feel like
Mm-hmm.
If you read White Knights, you'll automatically read all of Dostoevsky, and if given that you
Fair
are
enough. It's
a rational
really,
person. Okay.
yeah, it's really easy to get into, and it talks so much profundity.
Second is The Trial by Franz Kafka.
Fair enough.
Third is Hitchhiker's Guide to a Galaxy.
Of course.
All right.
Hmm.
Uh, this is in no particular order, by the way. Like if someone who is new to reading came to me, I'd say read these five books. Okay.
Hmm.
So where were we? The Trial, White Knights,
Hmm.
Hitchhiker's Guide to Galaxy.
Hmm.
Fourth is okay. So let me check. Yeah. So anyway, fourth is 1984. Fourth is yeah
Trinity.
Orwell's 1984. Because
Ah.
if you read like 19 if you read Orwell's 1984, you're either too cynical and have committed suicide, or you're into dystopian fiction completely as a whole. है ना? So
Uh-huh.
I think like that's what good books do to you. Uh,
Fair enough.
I don't want to include Murakami in this simply because while Murakami's work has merits, it also has many problems. Okay, let's talk about this later. Why not? Okay.
Fair enough.
The fifth would be again, since I'm talking about if you were a new reader and I came to you, so I would not recommend you Virginia Woolf fucking. So I'd recommend you George Eliot's Mill on the Floss.
Hmm.
है ना?
Fair enough. That's a good list for somebody who's just starting out.
Yeah, that's my answer to if I'm a new reader, what would you recommend me,
Hmm.
Krishanu? Not what are your top five books. Don't that does not have an answer.
Ah,
Okay.
that's really, really interesting.
Yeah, so
Why do you not?
I pulled off a
I've
politician
no.
move. I reframed your question in a way I like it and I answered it.
Yeah, I mean, I've noticed this from you that you don't really like to talk about art that sticks to you or that is your quote unquote favorite. And this is a phenomenon I've seen in many people that they don't really, they rather they abstain from having favorites. I
Yeah.
never really understood the phenomena.
Uh,
Right.
okay, why do I abstain from having favorites? I don't. Okay. It's just that my current favorite
Mhm.
is too finicky, too time sensitive, too volatile. Therefore, I don't like answering people the question because 2 months later I might regret saying you're my current favorite.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Subject to change, very vulnerable, maybe.
Yeah. My favorites are very volatile.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of our college professors, he's a computer science prof. Let's not talk about him, but let's talk about how he teaches. Okay. So he was teaching us like volatile memory. Okay. So he just posed a question. Hey, what is volatile memory? What's volatile memory? People were answering that memory that does not retain one's. He's like, no, volatile memory যেটা ভুলে যায়.
Classic, classic. What's the point of that?
What's the point of this podcast?
I don't really understand like professors really kind of doing this shit. Did he accept an answer?
Yeah, he did. He just made a joke and then he accepted it. Answer. He just wanted to tell the class that yo, I have a joke. Listen to this.
Yeah, I see a lot of professors, especially in places like Harvard, like they think they're so better than the people they're teaching. And the thing is, a professor's job is not just teaching people. A professor usually does his own thing, his own research, and the teaching of the class thing is more like a side gig by the university itself. Because the
Yeah,
university professors to like research, not really teach
yeah,
per
wrong
se.
country, my guy.
And
Wrong
so
country,
I
my guy.
gotta,
Here, professors teach. Researchers side.
holy shit.
Yeah, here
And
professors
इसके बाद
teach.
भी ऐसा हाल है हमारे सिस्टम का.
No, precisely because no, like let me take a concept from my domain itself, mathematics. There's an entire paper called abstract algebra. Okay,
Hmm.
if I am the best expert on abstract algebra today,
Yeah.
and I don't work on it for 2 months,
Hmm.
I'll know almost as much abstract algebra as you currently do.
Acha?
এতটাই I mean, I'll know the terms, I'll know the technicalities which you don't. So I'll know as much as a newly graduate currently does. Let's put it that way. Okay.
Fair,
So the
fair enough.
so the thing with certain fields, especially like in STEM or in philosophy, is like they require constant practice. And when a professor is like, okay, I'm teaching now, I'm complacent, like I'm getting a monthly salary. They stop this productive exercises, and they just like it just leads to
Yeah.
like it just leads to unproductive sloppy teaching, and we students have to figure shit out on our own. Like I cannot rely on most of my professors. Even my professors know I cannot rely mostly on them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Understandable. And this is like another reason for you to watch, for people to watch that Poet Society. Mention that.
I love how you're larping on Dead Poet Society. Where were you 2 years ago, my guy? Teaching, है ना?
uh, yeah. I mean, to find people like Mr. Keating is such a difficult task.
I might have found someone like that in my college, but okay.
I mean, the thing that I've seen, nobody really respects education per se
Very few
these
people
days.
do. Very few people do. Yes,
Huh.
because ওই যে বললাম মাসে মাসে স্যালারি ঢুকছে.
Mm. And this is precisely why like people like us are so gravitated towards places that actually,
Do
want to
shit.
teach you, like
Do shit.
I
Yeah.
don't know, like Prague or Germany or shit like that.
Yeah. Not just Prague or Germany. Even some institutions in India are good, but like very few. हाथे गोना.
Very few indeed, huh? One that comes to mind is UID. Their approach to design is what is arguably the greatest this country has to see. I attended a workshop where they made us like uh, have some competitions. One of them was like fashion design using recyclable material, and the other competition was a storytelling competition, a storyboarding competition, rather say. And once we finished, once we finished competing and got our results in, the dean comes to us and says, "Ki, oh, now you have finished almost 50% of what NIFT teaches you in a year." And oh, bapre, like the jabs this man took, oh, like understandable, man. Really understandable. This fever's fucking me up.
It's
What's
fine.
your
Right.
favorite application?
What's my favorite application on my phone? Let me check my applications on my phone. That.
Mm-hmm. You check, Curry. What's mine?
Oh, I found one. This is called the Bell app.
Why do you have that?
Guess what this does?
No way. Fuck off. Oh God. What is that?
There's also this another app called Buzzer app. Guess what this does?
Bro, why do you have this? What?
See, I moderate online debates, I judge online debates, I do that stuff. So you have to kind of keep
You
this
don't
for.
need a spell app for.
You do, trust me.
Oh God. My favorite app is probably. I'll show you my least favorite app.
I'll show you my least favorite app.
Uh,
Let's see if they
My
coincide.
least favorite app is this bullshit.
What is this? I cannot figure it
Yeah,
out.
it's fucking letterboxed.
Oh,
I
of
hate this
course.
shit.
So
Hate this shit so much.
my love
My
hate
favorite app.
my Chess.com, okay, of course.
Yeah.
For someone who can't play chess, that makes a lot of sense.
You should get into chess. It's really easy to learn.
I know chess. What are you talking about, nigga?
But like, oh, it takes a while to get there.
Brother,
What's
I
your least
am.
favorite?
Okay, so my most favorite and least favorite app is this, Reddit.
Of course, you're a fucking redditor, man. Of
You
course you
are one
do.
too. Shut the fuck up.
Uh, oh
Am I
man.
right or am I right?
Uh, no comments. Uh, let's not talk about the fact that I got you into Reddit. But yeah, let's not talk about that.
No, you got me into Reddit. I don't think so.
You asked me like, oh, what subreddits to join? I recently downloaded that shit. I'm like, oh yeah, join like every fucking academic r slash there is.
Oh yeah, you did that. Yeah, you did not get me into Reddit per se, but yeah, you are not on Reddit right now. I don't believe that. I can't.
Uh, I have Reddit on my phone, I guess, but I don't use this shit like ever. I barely use this stuff. Okay, the first thing I fucking see is this bullshit meme.
Yeah, I mean Reddit has really become corrupted with these Instagrammers.
Corrupt. I wouldn't say corrupted. It's just the state of humor right now is just this, fucking overstimulation.
Huh. I mean, yeah. The world,
Overstimulation.
the world as at large has become corrupted. Reddit was the last thing that took to this corruption.
I guess you can say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty cool episode, I guess.
We are not done, are we?
To go.
Where?
Nietzsche.
Kano. No, you don't. Shut up. Finish record.
I need. Come
Do a
on,
proper
please.
episode. We'll end at like 9:15 or something.
Let's say. Okay, let me just inform these fuckers late. Hold on.
You gonna cut this part out or you gonna leave it in for authenticity?
I'm gonna cut this part out.
Okay.
Or maybe not. One of the most interesting books that I have read recently? This thingy.
The Great Gatsby. Makes sense, makes sense.
Yeah, and
I
I
love how
mean, this
I love how I love how we both have gobbled up so much modern literature that we need to resort to the classics again.
classics, Hannah? Yeah. I think classics is arguably the best place to start if you
Okay,
want to get into.
Kishle, let's go. How do you define a classic?
How do you define a classic? Definitely, there are some characteristics. Number one, that stands the test of time. Number two, that like it has so much quality and it talks about such nuanced and important things that are ever present and not really corrupted by age per se. I mean, this thing stands because this is basically a fuck you to the concept of American dream, Hannah. Something that is prevalent in American culture even today. So you will find something in this book for even today's standards. Uh, a classic is something, as I said, it talks about a lot of things that are universal, that are not subject to change per se. Because, change is what that drives art to obscurity. If it cannot stand the test of time, it won't be really recognized and you have to like dig shit up. This is why tangent, not really. This is why directors like Tarkovsky and Kubrick are so ever present that the things they talk about will continue to be relevant. Like look at fucking 2001 Space Odyssey and that shit was critiquing AI before ChatGPT was a thing. So that's my definition of classics. Time plays a really important factor in art.
Cool. I agree. I mean, to frame it in a rhetoric fire, a classic book would be something that is old and it is so famous that everyone knows it's famous.
Stream appeal is definitely can definitely be a factor, but a lot of classics need not really be famous per se. You know, if you talk to a movie buff today, they might not really know who Tarkovsky is or might not be able to know half his films. But once you see his films and once you fucking see Stalker, you'll realize, holy shit, this guy is a pioneer. This guy made shit. Kind of. This guy made art.
Yeah, makes sense.
Like if you're into paintings, you might know about Pablo Picasso. You might know about Van Gogh. How many people here know like Eugene Delacroix? And the thing is, if you dig deep into it, you will know. Oh, he was one of the most revolutionary, absurdist,
Absurdists, yeah.
impressionist painters out there. So I don't think fame necessarily need to add to the classic, but yes, the classics that most classics that would people consider as classics are really really famous. What are your favorite classics?
Books or movies or both?
We're talking art, like in homogeneity.
Okay, art and homogeneity. So, a classic that I really like is 2001: A Space Odyssey. First of all, Chef's Kiss movie, है ना? I like, of course, Dostoevsky. If you look at Tolstoy, their works
Yeah.
like Crime and Punishment, ही बोले दिच्छी for Dostoevsky, or like War and Peace by Tolstoy, है ना?
Hmm.
One of the classics. Okay, this will sound wrong, but Hamlet, profound.
No, Hamlet is definitely a classic.
No, no,
I
no.
must
I
have
mean,
said.
no, because we were talking about an entire different vein just now. So I just went from Dostoevsky to Shakespeare in that sense. So,
No, yeah, that's why we're talking art and homogeneity. I mean, I would definitely put something from Shakespeare. Probably King Lear more than
makes sense. Makes sense.
Hamlet.
King Lear is extremely meritorious as well. Yeah. So uh, another classic would probably be again Mill on the Floors by George Eliot. Very very
Mm,
good. And then
definitely.
what's that one book that I'm continually forgetting? It's about fucking Rukja. It's about like four girls getting married. Initially starts as satire and later becomes social commentary.
Little Women.
No, not Little Women. That.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm gonna have to find it out. I'm so sorry. Like, হয় না মাঝে মধ্যে blank out হয়ে যায়.
Yes.
Pride and Prejudice.
Pride and Prejudice, of course.
I
I mean,
now I feel dumb, okay, for not remembering Pride and Prejudice.
fair enough.
Yeah, these are some of the good classics. I mean, if you go movie wise, then
Mm-hmm.
Whiplash. Although it's relatively new, but still, I
Mm-hmm. It's a modern classic per se.
yeah. 2001, of course.
Mhm.
Planet of the Apes. Uh, Planet of the Apes. Um, um, if you look at like Indian cinema, then there's
Mhm.
this uh, Satyajit Ray, several films, uh,
Mhm.
several films. Let's just or like there was this
Guru
song,
Dutt, bro. That's how.
ha, Guru Dutt, right?
Yeah.
There's so many, right? If you talk about art
Yeah,
and
definitely.
homogeneity, your sample space is simply too big. Okay, so
Yeah, that hence the question, Hannah. Like, what arts has stood the test of time to be solidified in the top five.
Thomas
If you
More,
ask,
ruk ja. Thomas More's Utopia. How did I forget?
okay, fair.
है ना? Thomas More's Utopia to me is the most dystopian book ever written. है ना?
Uh-huh.
And I've read a lot of dystopian literature. You know,
Fair enough.
it's without argument to me the most dystopian book ever written. Beyond the Bible is Thomas More's Utopia.
Beyond the Bible is crazy. I mean, fair enough. I mean, the way Moore fucking writes his stuff. I haven't really read fully Utopia. I might have started it and then fucking ditched it like a normal person after reading the first 5 pages. But I get it. If you ask me this question, what are my five classics? I'd definitely put 2001 Space Odyssey, King Lear. What?
Keep talking.
Go fuck yourself. 2001 Space Odyssey, King Lear, the ultimate classic, Plato's Republic. This
Of course,
essential,
Republic, yes.
essentially invented literature, you can say. Uh, okay, this is a curveball. This is a curveball. I would say Random Access Memories by Daft Punk. Fuck off.
You do realize I wrote that in mirror so that the camera does that correctly, right?
Okay, go fuck yourself. I really, really, really like Random Access Memories by Daft Punk. I mean, that album has shaped like the musical landscape today. It can never not be in conversation. I mean, I could have put Pink
Unless
Floyd.
it can never be in conversation unless you're talking to a guy who hasn't heard it, which you are. So sorry.
Ooh, dude, you need. I'll send it to you.
No, no,
I
अभी
mean, there are a lot
आज के देखा ना वो.
of great.
Chill.
I mean, there are a lot of great contenders as the best classical album. I mean, you can argue Abbey Road, you can argue Revolvers if you're talking Beatles. You can definitely argue Pink Floyd. If you want to go even further, like fucking, you have Mozart and Bach stuff.
No,
I,
to me, Mozart. I find Mozart and Bach extremely overrated. Yes,
I
their work
get.
had yes, their work had merit, but Mozart, Beethoven, and Bach, these three were not the three only pianists. There's fucking Rachmaninoff, there's fucking Vivaldi, who are all
Um,
pushed in. There's like who are just pushed into obscurity at this point. I mean, beyond cults, okay, like beyond the Vivaldi cult, many few people, everyone knows Vivaldi's Spring, but they do not know what other things Vivaldi did beyond the Four Seasons per se.
yeah.
There's Rachmaninoff, there's Tchaikovsky, there's so many other people that the same thing can be arguably said about a few singers in the Indian filmscape as well. Like every
Yeah,
movie, every
absolutely.
movie Arijit Singh has a song. He sings brilliant, but aren't there other singers?
Yeah. Even nobody really talks about the backup vocalists and the people that obviously one guy hasn't really cannot really create a whole song. Arijit Singh is just merely a part of it. He might lead the developmental process, but I really hate how like the Indian music industry jo bhi hai, if there is a music industry, it doesn't really like to credit its young ones. But then if you see how rap music is made these days, you have your producer, you have your feature lists, you have your like everybody
No,
is
I feel like
deserves recognition.
I feel like film industry in general. I think Amir Khan had made a statement about this once upon a time. But like not just Indian, in any way, uh, how much you get paid. The argument that feminists had about why female actors are generally paid less than their male counterparts. So that is of course valid. Of course it is right.
Oh, I know about this.
But like Amir Khan was like, yeah, but in fucking I forgot the movie name, but Madhuri Dixit was paid more than Salman Khan. So it is up,
It's our
upper.
ability to get people in the
Yeah.
theater, है ना?
So the amount you get paid is determined by the ability to get people in the theater, and as an extension, so is the amount of uh, bhav you get in the film space, है ना? Because
I mean, yeah, that's the business side.
yeah, because again, we talked about how capitalism has essentially subjugated art into a very hollow, uh, uh, if you look at Plato's
Replica.
forms, a sculpture of art, if you will, है ना? How
Mm,
it has subjugated art into mere content.
yeah.
So that I guess.
You know, the pose you're doing right now looks very wrong.
Why? My just my hand was up 90 degree. It was not that okay.
It slightly became that for a good 2 minutes. I'm not gonna lie. I'm
I
like,
was
oh, what?
closing my shells, Mike. I'm gonna use the other hand. That. Nee.
I got scared. Like, "Ee Baba, Kishav dog whistling. Fuck me. Oh my god." Ah, man,
What else do you want
films,
to
है
talk
ना?
about?
Classic. The question you asked me, the classics in the Indian film industry. I mean, there are definitely a few. Like almost every film by Guru Dutt, almost every film by Satyajit Ray, Ritik Ghatak.
Meral
I
Sharma,
think, huh, who was that guy? The OG Kapoor, Raj Kapoor.
Raj Kapoor.
I mean, huh, comes to
Okay,
even forward.
I feel like in the entirety of the Kapoor lineage, राज
Mm-hmm.
कपूर, ऋषि कपूर, शशि कपूर, याडा कपूर, वाडा कपूर, जितने भी कपूर है,
Mm-hmm.
arguably the greatest film they ever produced is मेरा नाम जोकर,
Fair enough. Hmm.
है ना?
Yeah, I mean, not beyond like the comedic aspect of it, but it really talked a lot. It had a lot of like Freudian symbols as well.
Yeah, it
I
was
need to watch.
very Freudian. Yes,
Hmm.
I mean,
Uh,
okay. See, I watched the film once around 2019 ki 2020, है ना? Back then, I did not have a lot
mhm.
of idea about Freud. I was like, okay, funny film, great film, good film, sir.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
rewatched it in 2024, and I was like,
है ना?
है ना?
Even I watched it like around the same time as you did, and now that I think back on it, like, huh, that scene had a lot of symbols behind it. That really meant something. And I
Again, I
it had
love it when even amid the rampant commercialization, the consumerism, the production of slop, the fear of dying out, and the resultant mass production because of it. I love how sometimes people manage to actually do art for art's sake. है ना?
yeah, at least seemingly.
I mean, at least seemingly, yes. Like
Mm.
recently, fucking Dhurandhar came out,
I know.
है ना? But then,
But recently, No Battle After Another came out, and like PTA delivered arguably one of the greatest
you already watched
pieces
No
of
Battle After Another.
yeah,
When?
bro. Yeah, Kalke. I rewatched it.
Phone Boshe, okay.
Yeah, I rewatched the film, and my God, it was the film that we needed right now. I mean, the political commentary aside, it kind of brought that resurgence to the cinematography that the Netflixification of films that we were like seeing
So should I
these.
watch?
Yeah, watch it. It's amazing.
Is it available in
What
theaters?
right now? I don't think so,
Okay, it is on Prime.
but
Definitely
you
where
should
I will watch it,
definitely
Hannah. Definitely. Not
yeah,
something that
watch.
begins with a T. Anyways, Where were we? Yeah, films. I'm
Mm.
really excited for Nolan's Odyssey.
I got a hot take for you, man.
Bolo, bolo.
See, the greatest problem with Nolan is that he takes himself too seriously. And the thing is, it worked in Oppenheimer because Oppenheimer was, the tonality of Oppenheimer really served what it was trying to convey. But you look at people like fucking look at films like Inception or even Interstellar. The tonality is really fucked up at times. And Nolan has been like in this perpetual decline since Prestige, in my personal opinion. He is becoming more commercialized than creative. Does that make sense? I saw the Odyssey trailer recently, and before the trailer came out, I was really hopeful. As a matter of fact, I knew after having watched Oppenheimer, I'm like, oh, he has perfected his craft. He knows what he's doing. I trust him now. But when I saw the Odyssey trailer, it was not only was it so fucking washed, it was a fucking parody of what how serious film sometimes tries to make itself look. And I know Nolan isn't creating a parody of himself because the Odyssey is his passion project. He wants people to be serious about it, but it was just ass. Like
Okay, so this
fucking
is this probably is my brain doing some damage control to what you just said, but I believe the movie will be nothing like the trailer.
what will be nothing like?
The movie will not bear the semblance of the chopped trailer. Essentially, I get it. I mean, I feel like the trailer was a crowd puller. I mean, I have this premonition.
But no, the way the marketing team handled it, and obviously Nolan had to have had like some contribution to give to the marketing team. And the fact that he chose to present it like this kind of makes me a bit uncomfortable and a bit more pessimistic towards the film because unlike Dune, where it didn't really take itself that seriously, especially Dune 2 towards the early front, I don't see the Odyssey being as ironically as emotionally dynamic. Or I am afraid this serious tonality will persist throughout the entire runtime of the film. And I'll say this, and I have said this after watching Interstellar, I have said this after watching Inception, I will say this right here, right now. Nolan needs to direct a fucking comedy film.
I
He needs
agree.
to fucking direct a comedy film. Because he needs to get his head out of this fucking echo chamber of a place where he wants people to, you know, be serious. If you conjure a good satire that makes you laugh and that also like hits you in the head with the fucking evils that persist today, not only would you get a good laugh at that, but upon a rewatch, people will take it way, way more seriously than they did the
Yeah,
first time. I mean, look at American.
not everyone can be Dostoevsky.
I mean, look at fucking what was that Leo film? The Wolf of Wall Street, one of the greatest
Ah,
satire pieces of cinema to ever hit.
so
Heather.
Nolan. Uh, if you look at like the Dark Knight Nolan, that was a very different Nolan than Imitation Game Nolan. I know. I don't know. I don't know what inspired this change. I don't know if it was very authentic or I don't know if it was just because yeah, this is working. Let's just go with this. Again, I agree that Oppenheimer worked simply because the tonality served the purpose of Oppenheimer, but this tonality can go wrong in Odyssey. Yes, can go wrong in Odyssey. But then again, I'm interested. I believe Christopher Nolan does have the potential required to direct a good comedy.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
borrowing from like Dark Knight, borrowing even some elements from Inception, like that entire puzzle sequence in Inception.
Huh?
You know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about, right? So I
Yeah.
feel like Nolan does have the potential to even like, if he gets his head right, direct a great comedy.
Definitely. And what I precisely saw from the trailer is that he's just trying to copy the tonality of Oppenheimer onto a different setting, which is really it's just too jarring to fucking look at. Even the color grading of the film uh, is really serious, like very Zack Snydery, which should be taken as an insult because it's fucking Zack. Why is he copying fucking Zack Snyder of all people? Hannah. Yeah, I'm not really hopeful about this film at all. I mean, get him to make a remake of
Boogie
Doctor
Nights
Doctor Strangelove.
or Boogie Nights.
Nolan can't fucking make Boogie Nights, man.
Okay, bold. He's not PTA, but still.
As a matter of fact, I would say PTA currently is especially after One Battle After Another, and this is not recency bias, definitely in the Hall of Fame of the greatest directors to ever, touch. And I don't think Nolan is there yet.
Okay. I mean, देखते हैं how Odyssey is. No matter what you say, I will go watch it. So
I mean, I will too, because that's what I do,
yeah,
watch and review films. But yeah, it is looking very bleak for Nolan.
it is looking bleak for Nolan. I love how uh, today's episode was exactly like the first episode. We came in, we don't know what we are gonna do.
Uh-huh.
I called you 20 minutes before we sat down to record. What are we talking about, Kishore? I have no fucking idea. No, okay, let's keep it that way. You know? And this turned out to be pretty good. We talked about a lot of things. We began with like fucking Javed Akhtar,
God,
Mufti,
yeah.
and Mr. Mufti about like the existence of God. And then we went from the convenience of God to religion to art.
Mm.
What do we keep the next episode about? Let's do it alternatively. One episode we talk shit, one episode is thematic. Why not?
Fair enough. What do you want to talk about next episode?
We'll talk about two things, okay? Just like in the last episode we talked about art and capitalism. What do you
Mm-hmm.
want to talk about in the next episode? We are keeping this on record, by the way.
Okay, fair enough. How about politics and language? And how the linguistics of the Constitution can warrant
Note
for a lot of loopholes that get.
note to self: watch The Dictator. Read 1984 before beginning the next episode. Okay. I probably won't, but
Uh,
okay. Let's talk about
so
linguistics and politics. Why not?
yeah, definitely.
So is that the episode?
Yes, sir.
Bye bye, people.
This was this was a pretty cool episode. See you in the next one.
See you in the
Bye.
next one.